What are authorities doing to restore normalcy on the ground as the market adjusts to the changes? We cross over to Business Weekly Deputy Editor Kudzanai Sharara to give us an update. Kudzi, good evening. Could you briefly shed light on what you expect from today and are there any new developments?
Thank you. So what we've seen so far is that there is still rolling out and configuration of systems for the complete rollout of the introduction of ZIG. We have also started to see people or economic agencies taking their Zimbabwean dollars back to, some are using them to buy goods and services, some are taking them back to the banks. However, the physical notes for ZIG are yet to be released, and information from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe is that the ZIG will only be in circulation. That's the physical notes and coins will only be in circulation from the 30th of April, which means from now at the moment you can use your Zimbabwean dollars to continue to transact, and also once electronic transactions are in place, then we can start to use ZIG again as well in terms of electronic transaction. So that is what was on the ground at the moment. Of course, there are still questions in terms of what one can do with ZIG. Can it buy fuel? Can it be used to pay for passports? But these are still developments, and hopefully we'll continue to see the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe releasing statements in terms of where we are and the way forward.
Now, financial institutions indicated systems were down over the weekend because of the changeover. What is the latest now?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. So what we have seen so far is that some of the systems, some of the financial institutions are back online. ZimSwitch, which is used by most banks, it's back online. And we've also seen some mobile money platforms that are back online. I think I've seen about 4 or 5 banks that are now back online, and I think by the end of the day we will see more financial institutions also coming back online so that transaction can happen. Over the weekend there were also issues in terms of just using your cards to swipe even for US dollars, but we have started to see transactions now people being able to do transactions in US dollar terms, and then also those financial institutions that are back online, people are now able to do transactions. But I think there are still more than about 14 banks that as of 2 p.m. this afternoon that were not yet back online.
Now, Kudzi, in the informal sector, retailers have already dumped the Zimbabwean dollar notes or charging at $1 to 33 to 44,000. What could be the driving force?
Thank you for that question. So what has been happening is that the physical notes of the Zimbabwean dollar had their own exchange rate of 6,000, whilst on the formal market, the $1 US was equal to 33,000 Zimbabwean dollars. Now that the Zimbabwean dollars are now being phased out, people are now taking these Zimbabwean dollars that were worth 6,000 was worth $1. They are now being taken back to the formal system where $1 is equal to 33,000. So what you thought was worth $1, which is 6,000, is now worth about 17 cents. So that's why people are now, you've seen some retailers, some informal traders, barren seeker, they are now refusing to accept the Zimbabwean dollar. Why? Because it no longer has the value it had a week ago when it was 1:6,000. It's now supposed to be 1:33,000. And obviously, if somebody had accepted the Zimbabwean dollar at 1:6,000, it's very difficult for them to take the losses when you are now taking it to a formal retail, to a bank, where the exchange rate is now 33,000. That's the major reason why we are seeing people trying to dump the Zimbabwean dollar, trying to reject the Zimbabwean dollar.
Konapo, ipapo pa ZTN Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.